I really like that one. Hey, in this video, I'm going to be talking about a really simple concept that I think may make an enormous game changer for you this coming season. So if you want to get faster, hit the ball cleaner with more forward lean, lots of really good stuff. Then just keep watching. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. As you know, I'm on a journey to hit it longer and straighter down the fairway. I'm joined today by the one and only, one of the best teachers in California. This is Jerry Kroll, PGA, out here from Goose Creek Golf Club in Jurupa Valley. And how are you, Jerry? Doing good?
Good, Steve. It's great to be here. It's a beautiful complex.
So, Jerry, today I wanted to introduce a really simple idea that I think could be super effective for a lot of people out there. And it's just an idea simply called getting speed out in front. Speed out in front. So for this idea, I'm going to utilize this speed whoosh stick. And you don't have to have one of these. It makes it a little bit simpler because this thing is so obviously loud that you can really hear where the speed is. Where the swoosh is the loudest, your speed is the fastest. I know a lot of people don't know that, but it's kind of an easy concept. So, and the louder something is, the louder the swoosh is, the faster it's moving. So for this one, if I just showed you how to do speed out in front, we know that a really good golf swing, that if there was no collision with the ball to slow the club down, that the fastest part of the swing would be about 30 inches past the ball. And this is because this is the point at which the only time in the swing that both arms are fully extended and the club would be pointing back at my chin again. That happens at about 30 inches past the ball. Now, when we're hitting a golf ball, of course that can't be the fastest because the collision with the ball, slows us down by like a third, right? It's like something like a third. But in this exercise, because I know a lot of people out there, they swoosh too soon. So, Jerry, I see a lot of swings that look like this when I teach. Something like that. And so I clearly heard the swoosh maybe 12 inches behind the ball. And so you know what's going to happen there. We're going to have issues with hitting it fat and thin, probably distance issues, maybe even hooking the ball could happen like that as well. But so in general, we have distance and accuracy issues unless we can get the swoosh out in front. Now, what I like to do with people is I like to exaggerate that swoosh. So I think a lot of people will really get this if they think that they're playing baseball at first. So something like this, and so I'll do this more on a kind of a baseball axis, like I'm doing it around my waist like this, but I'm going to pretend that someone is soft tossing me like playing like beer league softball, and the ball is coming down and it's going to land in front of the plate like this, and instead of letting it drop, I'm going to say, I'm going to go out and get it. I'm just going to go out and get it, and I'm going to whack it to left field. So a swing like that would look like this. Okay, just like that. Let me do that one more time at baseball level. Ball level. The swoosh being around almost 90 degrees around from the ball. So this is 4, 5, 6 feet out in front. Now you saw in that slow-mo treatment I just put up on that second swing, you could see that, well, number one, where the swoosh was the loudest and where my arm straightened was way out in front. But two things you saw that were really neat, Jerry, in the slow-mo that everyone will be able to see is how much my body is engaged, how much shifting and turning I'm doing in sequence out in front of the release of the club. And number two, and I'll show you this, we'll take a look at number two as I start to now modify the drill by bowing. I start to bow, so turn it into baseball and start turning it more and more into golf as I do the exercise. So I'm going to bend like I'm hitting maybe a shin-high fastball now, like this. Okay, same idea, but now I'm just bent over and lower. Now from that slow-mo that I just did, the slow-mo clearly showed, number one, a massive amount of lag, and number two, a really healthy amount of forward lean as the white ball got halfway between my feet where you might play like an 8-iron or something. I had a ton of forward lean. So this goes to compressing the ball, obviously more speed, but it's getting the body engaged, and that can't be anything but good. Can you touch on how important it is, and for you to get your students to move their bodies?
Moving your body, of course, the pivot is huge. The pivot is the engine of your swing. Now, if I was to ask you, Steve, if you saw a player on slow-mo video or some stop frames, and you saw a player come in like this, let's say you saw a player come in,
Yep.
and you saw an early supination of the left wrist, you would assume right away, there's no way that whoosh is over here. It's probably more back here.
Right.
Or if you saw this, if you saw post-impact, maybe you saw their arms
That
start
too.
to bend in a little bit.
In both cases, I would say that person needs to engage a lot more big muscles and legs and get shifting and turning more.
Yeah, shifting and turning. And then, of course, that is huge.
So we're talking about
something like this right here, or just flipping a club this way and swinging it one-handed.
Yeah.
And just, not trying to be difficult here. Some of this stuff is very easily discernible to the average player who makes those two mistakes, who doesn't get that speed out in front. Something like the speed whoosh, or making that motion out in front is going to fix this and this almost immediately. And you'll see it on the slow motion when you do it.
Yep. So let me trade you back here. So what we're doing here is, since so many people, and if you have any of these issues, you just mentioned another huge one, the chicken wing. The chicken wing, fat shots, scald shots, lack of power, no distance on the irons, no forward lean, no ball compression. These are all really common things that golfers complain about, and really often, the most popular YouTube videos have to do with all this stuff. This is one outstanding drill that you can fix it all with. Now, why am I doing it too much? Because I know that when someone goes back and puts a ball in the way, they're going to split the difference, because nobody really is going to do precisely what their new practice swing is. And I see this over and over again. If I can get someone to swing and swoosh out here, I know that I can get them starting to make a forward divot and more power.
You need to overcorrect to get back to the middle ground. You can't just correct where you're trying to correct to. You have to overcorrect to get back to that middle ground. That's, once again, where it's supposed to be.
So whether you have one of these sticks or not, or you can just use your own driver or something, but if you can be sensitive to where the swoosh is, maybe they're not even making a swoosh at all. So make a swoosh, get it out in front, do a bunch of swings like that, and you will see your game improve. All right, let me toss the speed whoosh away. Let me hit a golf ball, hit one more drive, and what we'll do is we'll do a slow-mo treatment of this swing, and we'll freeze it on a couple of the key points, but especially at that 30 inches past the ball point, we'll do a freeze at that point as well. So here we go. Speed out in front. In the slow-mo, and again where I stopped it, my arm is actually, right arm is slightly flexed at the elbow at impact, but rapidly straightening, and you can see that my arm's straightened right out here, right about the edge of the mat here. And that's when the fastest part of the swing, don't get me wrong, I know that's not where it really is with the ball in the way. But without a ball, that's what I'm striving for, is to locate the swoosh way out in front, just like that. But hey, try that idea at home, practice, do some practice swings, whether you do the club turned over with the whoosh of the grip, or if you want a speed whoosh, they're available on my website, you can pick one up. But practice out here in front. Come back and let us know what happened to your ball striking. I bet it gets better. More compression, more power, less fat and thin shots, more solid shots.
Effortless power instead of powerless effort.
effortless power instead of powerless effort. That is a good way to put it. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm Steve. This is Jerry. Jerry is launching his own channel. I've left a link down below. He's doing some different stuff. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's going to be highly entertaining and funny. And funny. So check out his channel. And hey, we will either see you in the next video or we will see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Take good care.